does that even mean, Bowers game corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back here today for another game review. And today, very excited to check out Jenga from Milton Bradley. This is for one or more players, ages 8 to adult. It'll take, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to play a game. And in Jenga, what you'll be doing is you are going to have a large three-dimensional structure that's going to be built out of blocks. 3 blocks on top of 3 blocks on top of 3 blocks on top of 3 blocks is built pretty high. What you're going to do on each turn is try and take a block away, put it on the top, and not be the person to knock over the tower. If you do, you lose the game, and the person in front of you wins the game. It's an old-school, party-esque dexterity game, but does it still stand up to the test of time? Let's open it up, and I'll tell you what I think. Alright then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Jenga. So first and foremost, we have our handy-dandy rule book, which is actually on the side of the box. Should have you up and running in no time at all. Very well done. Concise rule booklet. So in Jenga, what you're going to be trying to do is not be the person that knocks down the tower, because if you're the person that knocks down the tower, that will end the game, and the person that went before you will be the winner of the game. Now, there's many variants you can play with this game, but that's the way they say you should be playing it in the rule booklet. So let's show you how it works. So first you're going to stack up the tiles like so, going 3 this way, 3 that way, 3 this way, 3 that way. And if you want to straighten it up, they include this little plastic thing right here, which also holds it in place when you put it into the box. You can kind of just smush it into there, make it look nice and tight and good to go. And we're ready to start. So what you're going to do on your turn is you can use only one hand at a time, but you can switch hands. And you are going to try to take a block out of here. So I just took this block right here, and then I put it on top. The only rule is that you cannot take from the very top section. So yes, technically, if you wanted to, you could go like, actually, you could go like that. You could take that one. That could be your next turn. And then the next person could go and just take this one. That's pretty much the entire game. You just keep doing this. Now, as you build it taller and it gets less structurally sound, then eventually it is going to fall over. Let's see if I can make it fall over. Do that one right there. This one right here. Got it. Oh, that one's nice and loose. And that's really the key to the game, is trying to find the loose ones. Take that guy out. Biggity biggy boom. Oh, why not the middle one down here at the bottom? Yeah, we'll take that out. And now it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And as you can see, I'm going to have to get back. It can get pretty tall. Eventually what's going to happen, though, is someone is going to try and take something out, and it will knock the whole stack down, and the game will be over, and the person who went last will win the game. And that, in a nutshell, is how you're going to play Jenga. Alright then, Jenga from Milton Bradley. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side. The game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. It's a dexterity game, and if you've got shaky hands, or if you just don't like dexterity games for one reason or the other, this game is not going to be for you. Also, since this game has been released many, many, many years ago, there have been many additions to the genre. And the stacking genre is one that's actually pretty crowded. There's lots of games that have their own different take and twist on it. And this game does feel like a little bit of a dinosaur because there's no special abilities, there's no different shapes, everything is the same, which is both good and bad, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. Last on the con side, I wish that this box actually had a couple more of the different variants that you can play at. If you get one of the newer versions of Jenga, they will have a whole bunch of different ways. You can do team versions of the game and elimination versions of the game, which is actually my personal favorite one to do, where people slowly but surely get knocked out of the game. It takes a while to do it, but it's a lot of fun. Different versions of the game would have been nice to include on there. Last con I have with this is there is a solo game, but it's not particularly for me. I always like to touch on if a game has a solo aspect, but it is a good way to learn the game. Any other cons? No, you pretty much know what you're getting with Jenga. Moving on to the pros. Oh, last con is it's annoying to store it because when you finally get done playing it, you have to build it back up like you're about to play another game, but then instead of playing another game, you just put it back in there. So you're like, oh, right. But moving on to the pros, Jenga does stand up to the test of time, and I still think it's a good game. Do I think it's a great game? No. Well, there are other stacking games I would much rather play, like Junkyard? Yes, absolutely. But this one is a classic for a reason. It's easily accessible, it's easy to learn, it's easy to teach, it has great components, and it's just plain fun. And it creates a good sense of tension between people as you're trying not to be the one to knock it over, and there'll be times where you're like touching it, you're like, oh no, we're not touching that one, not touching that one, going to something else, and that's a lot of fun. That's another comment I can have with the game, though, is someone can ruin the game very easily just by accidentally bumping the table or, maybe just sneezing or anything like that. But you get that with a lot of dexterity games, so you got to give it some a little bit of a pass for that. But in the end, Jenga, does it stand the test of time? Yes, it is still a fun game. Are there better stacking games? Absolutely. But Jenga's a good way to start the experience if you're looking to get into the dexterity game hobby or the board game hobby. Jenga is definitely a great entryway into the hobby, but just make sure you slowly advance yourself on that ladder. If you're enjoying this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. In the comments below, or actually in the thing down below, click on that Amazon link. Buy anything on Amazon. It helps out the channel greatly. That would be spectacular. And in the comments below, let me know. Do you remember the first time you played Jenga? Or roundabout the first time you can remember playing Jenga? For me personally, I really don't. I don't. My grandma used to always play card games. She would play card games all the time. She didn't have Jenga. She also had like shaky fingers, which is why I think she did that. I remember when I was at YMCA camp, I used to play a lot of Connect 4, but I don't really remember playing Jenga. I think it would probably be maybe in middle school I can remember playing Jenga. I think I remember playing it once on like a free day in a class. But let me know in the comments below. Do you remember the first time you played Jenga? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.